Hello everyone, my name is the Rad Man, and we are here for another Courseplay tutorial. So, in this episode I'm going to be showing you two ways of baling fields. So, the first one I'm going to show you is using a rake beforehand to combine the windrows as much as possible. The second method, which I believe is more common, is following directly behind the combine with a baler, and I'll show you the upsides and downsides to both of those. So the first step in setting up your rake is going into fieldwork mode and then calculating your working width, and we are in field 15. Actually, no, okay, that's just a calculator for seed usage. Okay, so we have field 15 here. We just want this. We don't want return to first point or headlands, so we'll do this. And then we should be good to just start this one. It's a pretty simple course. It's going to do a weird thing where it folds up the entire rake unless you're like perfectly aligned with the first point, but now that I got it aligned, it's going to refold it up, but we'll just let it do its thing. The rakes have just always done that with Courseplay, where they kind of fold and unfold themselves multiple times. But I've found for accuracy with the calculator of their width, it's best to have it run like that. But anyway, so now let's find our field 14 small combine. And so this is the other way that most people will do it, is they'll set a baler in just fieldwork mode, and we'll get it started, and we'll have it just go on the nearest waypoint and drive. So I have a bale collector on this one, just because to show you that this will work with or without a bale collector. So basically the only difference is if I was using that bale collector, I would not be able to make a course for my bale trailer, which is just over here. But so I won't be able to auto load this field, but I can actually set up an auto loading course if I just disconnect that bale trailer. So while the rake is running and while the baler is baling this field, which we're going to have to see how it does. I'm using a rather large baler behind a rather small combine in this instance, so I'm not sure how well it'll go. But what we're going to do here is we are going to set up a second course because, like I said, with this field we're going to run it with the bale collector off. So we're going to want to copy the course from this tractor here, and then we're going to want to save this as field 15 bale. We're just going to call this bale 15 windrowing, actually, since it can be used for either the windrowing, the baler, and this bale trailer. But then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go here. We're going to want to get rid of that. And I did just realize there's one thing I should have turned on. So what we're going to do is we are going to use, whoops, that's the wrong way. We are going to use, actually, can you change this afterwards? Because what I realized is we actually need the return to first point option enabled. But I'm not sure. I don't actually know if that changes anything. Let's see. I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't change them after they're generated. But could I just regenerate the current course? No, that did not work at all. Dang it. Okay. Because the reason that it has to have the return to first point, by the way, is because when after the baler goes through, there'll be bales on each of these rows. It looks like I might need to, looks like it's got the width. I think it's taking the width of the frame of the rake, not necessarily the actual working width of the rake, if I had to guess. because it looks like it's occasionally barely missing. But anyway, it's not big a deal. We're getting like 90% of it. But anyway, so what'll happen is if you don't set it to return to first point, when it fills up the bale loader, it'll just drive through the rest of the bales and knock them all over the place. So what we really need to do is, after the rake is done, we're going to have it regenerate a new course with that option enabled. And the reason I can't just do it in this one is because I don't have the correct working width. But and then there's one other thing we'll have to set up. So maybe what we can do actually though is we'll set up the rest of this course, and then I'll show you how to combine, because to make this course we're gonna have to combine two of them together. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get to where your first point is, so about here. Then you're gonna start your recording, give it some space of course for things to sync up, and then you're gonna want to just drive over to wherever you need to go. And then, so when you're setting the wait point, which is what tells it when to unload, you'll need to remember that this waypoint is when the back of the trailer is there. So even though I set that with the tractor being right there, you know, it's not actually going to unload it right there. It's actually going to unload it when the back of the trailer is there. And that waypoint might actually be a little bit too far backwards in the shed, but if it is, you know, this is a small enough course it wouldn't be too hard to re-record. So we're going to save this as field 15 bale cell, and what I usually do is I have a bale cell course and then a bale collect course, and then I'll show you how to combine those together into one course that can actually be used. So let's grab our windrower over here, and we shall get rid of this temporary course, and we'll just drive back to the same place and have it regenerate us a new course, which is fine. And then we can turn on, return to first point, generate this course. So now you can see, now the stopping point is actually cutting back across the field. Now you wouldn't really want to use this as a raking course, because I have had it where it'll actually run the rake back across like that, and it just doesn't bale very well if you do that. So we're going to save this as field 15 bale collect, not collect. And then we are done with the rake for now. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to want to hop over in this guy, and then we're going to want to unload the bale cell course. Go over, get the bale collect course, the bale cell course, and then we're going to want to append this to the end. And this is basically ready to run now. We just need to get some bales. And so what this is doing basically is it's saying run this course until the trailer's full, and then return to the first point and run this course, and repeat that until you've covered the entire field with your working width, is basically what it does. And you guys can see that this is working. This baler will just continue to go back and forth, and since I have turn on field activated, it pretty much is actually doing a really good job of not missing anything. I was definitely worried it would miss something where we're using such a large baler, but it looks like Courseplay is being smart enough about it that even though it does take it a while to turn around, it is compensating for that. So we'll probably stop that for now. I can always come back and, you know, turn this on later. Let's unload the baler though, and that'll just auto dump those off, and I can always just come collect these manually, and then we'll fold off we'll fold up the bale collector and just drop it off over here. Okay, stop. There we go. And, you know, you don't really have to set up a bale collect course. I mean, with a field this small, it would probably actually just be faster to, you know, to just collect the bales yourself. But on a larger course, I do not want 2 courses, I just want the windrowing course. With a larger course, it would actually be really helpful to, oh my gosh, I did not think about that. I have this, it's a modded baler. I didn't even think about the fact that, you might have to reconfigure it, so the fastest thing at this point is just to buy a vehicle workshop. I mean, I'm gonna need it to reconfigure things for later episodes anyway, so we'll just buy one and get it set down. That way we can just edit this baler real quick. Okay. Customize. We want the bale chute. Customize, yes, thank you. And there we go. Now it'll work. Okay, here we go. Whoops, I forgot it unhooks it. Thank you. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll turn it on. There we go. Now we don't have the error message. And so now we just drive course. And then we'll give it a few seconds to run. This is pretty much exactly like having it follow a combine course, except obviously it'll make bales a lot faster because the windrows are thicker. And now what I would recommend doing is, for a course that's this complicated, having it start at the waypoint and then just planning on not stopping the course. And if you do need to stop the course, you can always just do nearest waypoint, but especially for trying to figure out, you know, which waypoint to start on here, it really does help to just do first waypoint. And what is wrong with the baler? Okay, it's just backing up. I couldn't tell from all the way down there if it was, you know, what it was doing, but I think since it's baling, we do want to set it to not, you know, turn on field, because well, number one, it takes a lot of extra time. Okay, where did I miss the setting? Okay, so now what this will do is it'll let it turn off the field. Hopefully it'll be smart enough to not, you know, get itself in trouble with the windrower, but I guess if it does, we can always come rescue it. I mean, the only reason I'm trying to hurry it along is so that we can get this video done in a relatively good amount of time. And what you'll need to do is, Courseplay in the newest versions is really good about detecting, you know, offsets of tools for their working with, but you will want to verify that this is actually set off to the proper offset before you just, you know, turn the tractor loose. And so it'll drive up, you know, just to check and make sure that, because to fieldwork mode, it basically doesn't know that it's doing a bale loading course. Because like I said, it basically just sees it as a separate course. Okay, wrong one. It basically just sees it as 2 courses, one of which runs after it finishes the course it's on. And I also realized turn on field with the bale wagon is probably not a good idea, because like that bale that's coming out of the baler, if it's too close, the tractor will actually hit it, because it doesn't think about, you know, having to collect a bale behind the turning radius of the trailer, which is something that could very well happen. And now, of course, it's going to do the thing where it's going to wait, and then it's probably going to, you know, back all the way up, even though, you know, in reality, you wouldn't want to sit and watch these things run. I mean, besides verifying that it's actually picking up the bales, you pretty much just want to leave them to your, to their own devices. And that was what I was afraid would happen, was I bought this thing and then didn't refill the twine. So it's completely out of twine. So we'll just turn this off, and then I'll just show you guys how the bale unloading course works. So we'll just watch him turn around. If the baler could make it around that turn, I'm sure the bale wagon will do fine. So you can immediately see the difference when they turn off the field. Instead of, backing up an insane amount, they do turn. The one exception is you would want to be really careful if, there's lots of trees around, which in that case it might just be best to, manually collect the bales anyway. Just because any hired help might get stuck on the trees. But anyway, let's get in the John Deere. And he should, yeah, he's going to try and align himself before he gets to the start of the field, which is very good because it means he won't miss this bale. And then we'll just let him, I'll probably wait until it's collected that bale up there, and then I'll hit drive now, which is basically, for those of you who may not have understood why I was hitting drive now in the grain trailer, it basically tells Courseplay, pretend that I'm full, is what it does. So pretend that I'm full now, and it'll stop to, do the bed, which is a very good feature, because, if it didn't stop to do the bed, there's always the chance that you could drive over a bale and end up causing havoc. And so what it should do is this, once it gets to the stop point, it should lift up the bale pickup arm, and, on second thought, it might only do that if it actually, okay, it's not letting me pick it up. I need to tell it to, I can't set that setting. It's gonna hit this shed. I have never liked the shed on this map. But I like this map, so I thought it would be a good map to, oh, crap, I forgot I have it. Oh, give me the mouse back, I forgot. Set at first waypoint. I meant to set it to nearest, but I didn't. Okay, now it'll go. And, yeah, if it fills up normally, it should not do this. Okay, this is actually a really bad time to find out that they changed this. But, yeah, you can see that now, basically between versions, you can't count on much with Courseplay. Yeah, the tractor's having a nice freak out in the air. Unload that, get this thing put down. Anyone up for flying tractors on the roof? Okay, there we go, of course. So, note to self, in the current version of Courseplay, which this is why you test these things, in the current version of Courseplay, apparently the waiting point is actually for the tractor, which is good to know because it used to just be for the back of the bale trailer. And it might still be the back of the bale trailer if you're in reversing mode. You'll probably just have to test that for yourself, but I'm going to call that an end to this tutorial because I have to go buy more twine for the baler, and then I need to get another tractor over here to hit this thing up. But yeah, so that's how you do it. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments. If I remember, I'll put a little note about in forward mode, it's actually where the tractor is, but in reverse mode, it's where the end of the trailer is. So, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. My name is the Rad Man, and in the next episode, I'll probably either be showing you guys how to use an overloader, or I'll get the bales all cleaned up out of this field, and I'll show you how to use the cultivator. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. My name is the Rad Man, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!